Picture your typical American family in the 1960s. You know the one I'm talking about. The mom in the kitchen cooking dinner in her calf-length, flowery spring dress that poofs at the hips and buttons down the front. And the dad walking in the door right at 6 p.m., just in time to meet the family at the dinner table for a nice home-cooked pot roast. "Honey, I'm home," he says as he takes off his coat and kisses his beautiful wife on the cheek. The two kids, George Jr. and little Mary Jane, come running down the stairs after playing a game of jacks and sit down at their seats at the dinner table. They pray, they laugh, and they talk about their day, then rejoin at the television at 8 p.m. just to watch their favorite television show with the family. So what do we picture when we think about the typical American family today? It is hard to put just one description on that. Families today are single moms, single dads, step families. They are boyfriends and girlfriends who probably never plan on getting married. They are foster parents, 2 dads and 2 moms. They are more diverse than they've ever been before. Since the 1960s, there's been a dramatic change in what America considers to be the typical American family. Today I'm going to discuss with you some of the differences between the American family in the 1960s and the American family today, and discuss some of the reasons for this change. According to the article, The Changing American Family in 2005, there are fewer than 25% of American households today are made up of a married man and a married woman and their children. This is not how it used to be in the 1960s. The overall attitude of relationships has shifted in America. Women are more independent, they have career goals and ambitions. Back then, when women were the housewives who cooked and cleaned and took care of their children, while the men went out, made money at their jobs, came back to put food on the table and a roof over their heads. In 2002, the average age for women to first get married was 27, compared to 22 in 1980. This is largely due to women becoming more independent and having more career goals and ambitions. Another dramatic change is due to the increase in divorce over the past 40 years. Today, according to an article, The Changing American Family in 2005, nearly half of all marriages contracts are broken today. According to Judith Wallerstein in her article, The Unexpected Legacy of Divorce, a 25-year landmark study in 2000, the divorce rate has nearly doubled since 1960 and is still continuing to grow. Judith states, "We have made radical changes in the family without realizing it, how it changes the experience of children growing up. We embark on gigantic social experiments without any idea of how the next generation will be affected. Children who come from broken homes are more likely to end up divorced more likely than children who come from a family with a married mother and father living in the same home." According to the article Family Foundation Trends and Analysis by Focus on the Family, one of the main contributors to the decrease in the number of families who have a mother and father in the same household is due to an increase in premarital sex and the number of babies born out of wedlock. Marriage used to be what was expected of a man and a woman. Having a child out of wedlock was simply unacceptable. According to a poll done by the University of Michigan in 2005, more than half of high school females said that having a child outside of marriage was acceptable. Back then it was frowned upon when our parents were growing up. According to Martin O'Connell, Chief of Fertility at the U.S. Census Bureau, 1/3 of babies are born out of wedlock today. This is greatly associated with an increase in the premarital sex of young teens and young adults. Today, more and more people are living together without getting married. Why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free, as my mother always says? This takes away from the bind between two people when they decide to settle down and finally have a family. The values of America as a whole are changing, which is having an effect on the American family. It used to be that homosexuality was unacceptable and looked upon with detest. This isn't the case anymore. They are portrayed through the media as part of the norm. There are television shows such as Will and Grace that not only portray homosexuality as acceptable, but they also show sexual contact between the same sex. According to Parents.com, 2 out of 5 gay or lesbian couples live in a house with children under the age of 18. Children are being taught that it is okay to be homosexual which has contributed to the rise in homosexuality in young adults today. Today I've discussed for you some of the differences between the American family of the 1960s and the American family today, and given some possible reasons for this change. The American family has changed face over time and is largely due to the reformation of American values as a whole. Which is better? Well, no one can tell you that because it is all about personal preference. But I think that we can all agree that it is a shame that many children do not get to experience living with both their mother and their father. The children used to be the number one concern, so the question is, who is the number one concern today? Okay, so I'm done, but I'm going to introduce you to my lovely audience. I have Natalie over here in the corner studying anatomy, which we have a final tomorrow. Woohoo! And then all the way over here is Beth, my lovely recorder, who stayed just for me so that I could finish my speech. Thank you very much.